All right, boys and girls, this week is the week of May 4th through May 8th, and your weekly schedule is attached in your Google Classroom. I'm actually starting on the email page today, so if you have not been checking your email each week, don't forget to go to your waffle, click Gmail, and it takes you to a screen that looks like this, where anything that I send is a new assignment, has been sent to you today. So if you see over here on the right-hand side, it'll even show you like the day and time sent. So today I have attached some new materials, your weekly schedule. A new science we'll be working on is life cycles, as well as sequencing stories and narrative writing. So anything that's something that you need to type in and it needs to be returned to me was emailed to you today. Let's start with our weekly schedule. I can get to it through my email, or I'm actually going to go back up to my waffle and get it through the Google Classroom. So if I go to my Google Classroom, go to Mrs. Headington's class. Next, we're going to click on class work at the top, and let's check out our weekly schedule so there's no confusion for the week. Anytime you get confused, re-watch this video and it should help you know where to go. Today, this week's schedule, May 4th through May 8th, attached right here. I started highlighting things in yellow that are new or important or something due. So for example, as you can see right away, it says under our little heading, this week starts narrative writing. So notice that is something new because the animal reports were due last Friday. Okay, so Monday is laid out as the same as I have been doing it. Do your iReady minutes. Raz Kids, here is something new. Sequencing stories. So you will listen to a story on these slides and then complete the sequencing activity on the next slide. Let me click on that and show you what that should look like. Remember, everything you can click right on the weekly schedule to get to it. On day 1, you're going to listen to the story, The Little Old Lady Who Wasn't Afraid of Anything. Click the play button, listen to the story, and then down at the bottom it tells you go to the next slide and complete the sequencing of the story, so the order in which things happened. I click my next slide, and I gave you an example to get you started. It says type below on each line the sequence of things the old lady was not afraid of. So for example, in the book, the first thing that didn't scare her was the shoes. So I went ahead and did that one for you. Maybe next she wasn't afraid of the hat. I can click right above there and type hat. Again, I wouldn't copy me, I'm just giving you random answers, but you can click above each line to type your response. So that is something new this week. It's not due until Friday, and you can turn it into me once you have completed that activity. Okay, day 2 is a different story with a different sequencing activity. Day 3 with a different sequencing activity. Again, each one you can just type right in the box your answer. And day 4 is one last story, The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. You'll listen to the story and complete the sequencing activity. Okay, that means that you really only have 4 stories, which gives you a whole extra day to make up anything you need to get done and then turn it into me by Friday. Let's look back at our schedule. So that's kind of how reading will go this week. Each day you'll listen to one of those stories and complete the slides. Highlighted this because it's new, narrative writing. You click here, there are slides that show you what is expected of narrative writing, the expectations I have, as well as an example attached on each slide. This will take course over the next 2 weeks, so I'm hoping for some really good stories once you're all done. Okay, it takes you day by day. So day 1, pretty easy. You don't even have to type yet. You're just going to brainstorm ideas on Monday about what to write about. I've given you some ideas in these little thinking bubbles. Talk with your family and see if there's some ideas that they might have of things. Remember, this has to be a true story that happened to you. And then again, each day, you just go day by day, Next day, you'll plan your story, okay? And you can plan it on a story mountain. You can click in this story mountain and type into it as well, right? And then when it actually comes time to start typing, that won't be until day 4. So we're not looking at until Thursday. Do you actually have to go in and start typing some things on your paper? At that time, you can click on this thing that looks like a Google Doc, and it'll take you to my example paper in a Google Doc. So let's view that really quickly so no one's confused on what to do here. You can give your paper a title. I called my story The Day I Heard My Bone Crack. But if you notice, each section of my story must be 3 to 5 sentences. I can't stress that enough. I keep getting things turned in with 1 sentence typed. The middle part of my story, 3 to 5 sentences. The ending of my story, 3 to 5 sentences. And I've created these boxes so you can just type yours into the one that's assigned to you. All right, go back to our weekly schedule. Phonics you must do. I had changed that, but it's pretty fun and simple. Listen and watch the fun slides. Monday you will be on slide 4. Okay. There's the spelling words for the week. If you would like to do those are optional. Then we'll jump on over here to math. Math, you have some interactive videos to watch. Miss Phil is actually going to do a math lesson with you this week. She is our math coach in our building. A couple workbook pages and your iReady math as always. Let's go down, and I'm just going to kind of touch on a few other things that are highlighted. Again, narrative writing is just highlighted on each day so you don't forget it's something new that you're expected to do this week. Similar layout as it's been every week. I highlighted this over here because on Thursday we're going to try to get as many kiddos as we can from class to join us on Google Meet. The Google Meet will be at 10 a.m., so please join us. We're going to call it a snack bunch. Normally at school we call it a lunch bunch where we get to eat lunch in the room. But since we do it at 10 a.m., it might be too early for lunch. Just bring your favorite snack. We're just going to have fun chatting with some friends from class because we all miss each other like crazy. So if you haven't joined us on a Google Meet yet, please do so. And that'll be Thursday at 10. We're going to try to get everybody in class if we can. Science, like I said, was new. This is life cycles. We're going to start. I had ordered caterpillars, and I have been filming and documenting their different cycles they go through in life. So as you can see today, you're just going to watch the slides on video 1. And then if you go, on slide 1. Then if you go to slide 4, you can type in the little chart as well. So let me click on that quickly. Oh, it's not going to let me click on it. I'll have to fix that. But it's another one you can just type right into the slides. The only reason on Friday there's a few things highlighted yellow is make sure you get your sequencing done and turn it in to me by that day. So those sequencing slides you've been working on all week, listen to the story, do the next slide with the sequencing is due Friday. The narrative paper, do not turn your paper in yet. You have until May 15th, so don't turn it in unless you just already got it all totally done and you want to turn it in. But it is not due till May 15th, so that was just a reminder there. That's why it's highlighted. And I started this week down here as well. In case you're just like, what on earth was I supposed to do this week? I have made a whole section called Things You Must Have Done. You must have done this week. 2 most important, because we need to track that kids are on and doing things. iReady reading, 15 minutes a day. iReady math, 15 minutes a day. After that, make sure you are getting on Raz Kids and reading 1 book a day and taking the quiz. That's a total of 5 books for the week. So only 1 book a day, you can do it. I just updated everybody's reading level, so you should have access to all new books. Number 4, don't forget you do have the life cycle slide to do. Do not turn it in yet because we actually are going to have this going on for like 3 weeks of life cycles. But just make sure you've typed in that one slide that was due. Make sure you started your narrative story so we don't get to next Friday and you're like, oh my goodness, I haven't even started it. It's not due until next Friday, but make sure you at least maybe have your first part of your narrative story typed. And then make sure this is due. Turn in your sequencing reading slides. Those are due by next Friday, the 8th. So I kind of added that section down there in case you need to double check yourself, like what was supposed to be done this week. Other than that, everything that I assigned to you, you can get through, like I said, through your email. So let me click back on that. Okay. For example, the narrative writing. If I click on this students, it tells me all the details. Oh, I have to get this done by May 15th, blah, blah, blah. I'm under a student's account, so it should look just as your screen looks. Takes me right to this, where I can look at the slides of what I'm supposed to be doing. And then this is the document that is assigned just to me that I get to type into. Okay. So every kiddo has their own paper, and you will just type in your story into the slides. All right. And then when you're ready to be done, you can turn it in to me. I think that's everything for this week. If you have any questions, please send me a message on Dojo, or you can email me at kkh0520@swcsd.us. All right, I miss you guys. Have a great week.